What we're talking about is the Somaliland recognition, which we're all striving forward for. As Israq Somali community, we're predominantly from the north of Somalia, which is known as Somaliland, which is very close to our hearts. So today we're here basically to show a token of our appreciation to Paul Bloomfield, who's part of the Somaliland Committee recognition in Parliament. So today we have some certificates to present, which... Okay. So Paul Bloomfield, just to give you some recognition, we're going to... And also Mohammed Hirsi. I'm sure you'd like to.
Thank you very much, Faiza. It's good to see you again. It's good to be at Israq again. It's good to be here with my colleague, Nikki Sharp, who is the new Labour councillor for Walkley, and who I know received a great deal of support from those within the Somali community who live in Upperthorpe and other parts of Walkley. So it's an opportunity to say thank you for that support. Some of you were, I know, at a hustings meeting before the general election in the Broomspring Centre when I was asked the question, would I take up and support the cause of Somaliland if I was elected as a Member of Parliament, and knowing that it wouldn't necessarily be popular with everybody, I did say that I would. I think there were two people who booed at that stage, and that's a disgrace, because I think that what we have seen in Somaliland is an example to Africa in terms of the way that civil society, judiciary, politics has been conducted and built up, creating a stable society that deserves international recognition. So I was very happy to give that promise at the hustings meeting, and to make sure that I kept that promise after I was elected. One of the first things that I did as a new Member of Parliament was to join the all-party parliamentary group on Somaliland, and to have responded to all calls for support. And when Faiza and Hersi asked me to make sure that I was supporting the recent demonstration that the Somali community organised fantastically outside the House of Commons. It was a brilliant day. I mean, I have to say, I go to lots of demonstrations, but I've never been to one which had such a sense of celebration and of enthusiasm. It was a great event. So I was going to just call in, but I stayed there for quite some time talking to people. I was pleased to be able to address everybody who was there, and subsequently with two of my colleagues, Alan Michael, who is a Labour Member of Parliament in Cardiff, and Kerry McCarthy, who's a Labour Member of Parliament in Bristol. The three of us joined with leaders of the community to take a petition to present to the Prime Minister at 10 Downing Street. And it's not, my support for the cause has not stopped there. Since then I have been asking parliamentary questions to the foreign ministers to ask the question, what are the conditions for the recognition of a state as laid down by the United Nations, and will they make an assessment for me of how Somaliland meets those criteria? Because it is my view that Somaliland has now met those criteria, and it's part of the way of maintaining the pressure on the government to work with others in the international community to move towards recognition. So I'm grateful for you organising the event today, but you have my assurance that I will continue to use every opportunity to support the cause of Somaliland. Can I just say again thank you on my behalf and for Nikki for inviting us to this event today. It means a lot to us to be able to be here with you, and I'm certainly, from a parliamentary point of view, happy to rededicate myself to the cause of Somaliland. As I say, it's something that I'm not simply speaking on, but actively working on, and with colleagues. And in Sheffield, you will know that one of my colleagues, Clive Betts, is also part of the group and has been active, and others have worked with the Somaliland government, providing support. So thank you for that. And I know that Nikki also will want to, with me, respond to the point that you were making in terms of the community within Sheffield. We have, it's a point I often make. I was brought up in Sheffield in the 1960s, when we were a much more monocultural city. I think Sheffield is so much stronger for having welcomed so many peoples from so many parts of the world today as a leading multicultural city, and the Somali community is an important part of that. And I hope that I take your point in terms of the support that you've given to the Labour Party, but I hope that we can move that forward into active participation, because I look forward to the day when members of the Somali community are representing not only their community but also Labour in the City Council. You have some very able and talented people within your community. Getting them involved, getting them standing as Labour candidates, representing their community within the council, as we have with the Kashmiri, Pakistani and other communities, I think that would be an enormous step forward. So I hope that you will give thought to that. It's something that I've talked to Pfizer about, it's something I've talked to Mohammed Hershey and talked to others about. Just taking that political engagement up to the next level, so that you've really got a stake at the table when decisions are made. Until that point, then I'll continue to talk, as Nikki will continue to talk with you, to make sure that your voice is heard. So thank you again.